headline, one decision, one disruption, and commodity markets move. Tracking the trends, decoding the triggers, and identifying the opportunities. Because in commodities, the next move starts before the next headline. Commodity Central. Only on ET Now.
Hello, good evening and a warm welcome to another episode of South Central with me, Jude Summit. You're watching India's first and only business news bulletin to focus on South India. This is the channel you need to be watching to keep pace with everything that matters to this region from business, politics and beyond. So before we take a look at what's making news today, here are some of the headlines we're tracking at this hour. The Supreme Court stays the Madras High Court's order prohibiting the Tamil Nadu government from handing out compassionate appointments to the kin of those killed in the Karur Stampede last year. The top court gives the TVK-led government in Tamil Nadu to go ahead for issuing offers of employment until the appeal is decided. Athleisure footwear brand State of Joy targets a leap in sales and revenues. The company sets its sights on 2.5x growth in FY27 as it plans to scale up sales from 2.1 lakh pairs to 6.3 lakh pairs this fiscal. On South Central today, we visit the brand's manufacturing base in Ambur to find out how that's happening. Rapido, meanwhile, secures a 5-year license for cab services in Karnataka. The move assures the mobility platform of continuity and longer-term regulatory framework in its cab-hailing services across the state. And BlueHill VC raises 400 crore rupees for its Frontier Tech Fund. The Chennai-based venture capital firm is betting big on startups in semiconductors, defense, space and the nuclear sector in its maiden fundraise. Our top story first, India's frontier tech ecosystem is entering a new phase with investors increasingly willing to back startups building deep intellectual property and solving some of the country's most complex industrial challenges. Chennai-based BlueHill VC has now announced the final close of its maiden 400 crore rupee Frontier Tech Fund with backing from institutional investors including SDBI as well as the governments of Kerala and Uttar Pradesh. The fund has already deployed over 100 crore rupees across 7 companies and plans to deploy another 80 crore rupees over the next 6 months across sectors ranging from semiconductors and defense to space, nuclear, EVs, advanced materials and robotics. So what are investors looking for at the seed and Series A stage, and does India now have the ecosystem to build globally competitive frontier tech companies? Joining us now is Sridhar Parthasarathy, managing partner and co-founder at BlueHill VC. Sridhar, firstly, thank you so much for joining us on South Central today. Congratulations on closing out your maiden fund at 400 crore rupees at a time when frontier tech is attracting significantly more investor attention. So would you say the risk appetite for deep tech in India is on the upside at this time and place, Sridhar?
Firstly, thank you. Thanks for having us on the show. Really appreciate that. And thanks for the kind of nice words. So, yes, of course, the risk appetite is increasing, but I would say it is not increasing indiscriminately. Investors are also becoming far more careful about compared to what it used to be 4 years back. Today, there is a better understanding of risk, what it means to invest in these companies. So I would say, yes, there is a fair bit of interest in deep tech, and also the government ecosystem has also been fairly supportive. In that context, we do see, sort of a fair bit of attraction happening, and the fact is we've been able to raise 400 crore, confirms that. Right? So, yes, there is an increase in risk appetite, but only thing is I would again say that it's been very careful, calibrated, and people are really looking for companies which are able to build the technology and really making it big.
You've already deployed 100 crore rupees across 7 companies. Which companies are these? And what are the common characteristics that you're seeing in the startups that are making it past your investment filter at the seed and Series A stage?
So if you really look at our portfolio companies so far, we have made about 7 investments. Out of that, 4 are in and around the semiconductor space. One is in biotech, one is in defense tech, and one is in space tech. Now, sort of if you really look at today, there's a fair bit of a skew around the semiconductor, uh, given the fact that so much of action is happening in that space. Now, coming into the question of what we typically look for, see, of course, our first basic lens is about technology, right? As in, we are really looking for companies and founders who are trying to build disruptive technologies. In our belief, India is really, Indian founders are really able to kind of now build those technologies from here, and that is where we are backing them. The next important aspect is the market. If they build the technology, if they solve for the problem what they're solving, is the market big enough? Is the market large enough? Where it can really become $1 billion business. So that remains our second filter. And of course, the last and most important filter is all about the founders. End of the day, we are backing people. So it's all about the founders, their appetite, their ability to take things, and of course, their ability to be agile and keep pivoting, keep ensuring that sort of they're not bogged down by the headwinds, and rather sort of take it head on and move forward. So I would say technology first is first level filter. The next level filter is about market potential, and the third and most important is of course the founders.
Right. Let's take a look at some of the segments where you're particularly interested in. Semiconductors, nuclear, space, defense, advanced materials and robotics. Now, these are sectors where gestation periods can actually be much longer than in conventional tech. So how do you assess the risk-reward equation as far as businesses like these are concerned?
Absolutely. So if you really look at some of this, it takes a certain amount of time to build these companies. It takes a certain amount of time to build those technologies, take it to commercialization. But we don't just look at it at one single level or at one single layer. There are multiple layers we're looking at, starting from the technology, whether it is possible, is it scalable, and then it is commercializable, right? So all of this we kind of look for. So in terms of the, sorry, can you come back on the question again? Sorry.
I meant, how do you know that these businesses are, that actually make the risk-reward cut?
So if you really look at these companies, therefore take that much time to build, but when they build very strong barriers to entry. That way, what we are also seeing is when they deliver substantial returns as well. So that's how the risk-reward ratio kind of really plays out in these companies.
Let's look ahead, Sridhar. 80 crore rupees earmarked for deployment over the next 6 months. Which of your frontier tech sectors are you most convinced about? Don't tell me all of them, please.
Of course, yes. See, of course, some of them is also follow-on capital where we have already earmarked for one or two of these companies. But I would say semiconductors remains a very good area for us. It's a focus area for us, given the fact that we have someone like Vinod Dham as an advisor to our fund. And given the fact that so much of action is happening, the government has come out of the 2.0 as well. And there are enough and more opportunity set which are able to see in that space. So semiconductor is one, and of course the other area of interest could be in and around space and defense.
Right. Now, there's a whole lot of talk about the country moving on from being a tech adopter to becoming a tech and IP creator. So from the startups that you're seeing, are we genuinely making that transition happen?
See, for a long time we've been technology adopters, which is true. But now what we are seeing that definitely there is a transition which is happening, but it's still early stage of transition, right? So for example, in our past, we've invested in companies which have actually not just built a solution for India, but these solutions have been today adopted across the globe, right? One of the earlier investments of ours in the earlier fund was a company which actually today serves the likes of Shell across the globe. Right. So definitely there is an opportunity for Indian companies to build technology here, but not necessarily only for the domestic market. It could be for global markets as well.
Well, Sridhar, all that I can say is that the future looks promising both in India and overseas. So on that note, thank you so much for joining us and breaking down some of the numbers with regard to how that fund is going to be deployed and what lies ahead. Great speaking to you right here on South Central.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the time.
Moving on, the Supreme Court has stayed the Madras High Court order that struck down the Tamil Nadu government's decision to provide government jobs to families of those killed in last year's Karur Stampede. Now, the top court has issued notice to the Tamil Nadu Chief Secretary and other respondents, with the matter now set for further examination. The Madras High Court, remember, had earlier held that appointing relatives of the 41 victims who died in that stampede actually bypassed the constitutional principles of equality and equal opportunity in public employment. The Supreme Court stay, though, does not settle the legality of these appointments yet, but it temporarily keeps the government's decision alive, a significant legal relief for the Vijay-led TVK government. My colleague Harish joins us for an update on that Supreme Court action.
Big victory for Tamil Nadu's Vijay government as the Supreme Court today stayed the Madras High Court judgment wherein it had quashed the compassionate grounds government job given to the kin of 41 persons who had died in the tragic Karur stampede. The Supreme Court said a stampede happened, 41 persons died very tragically. What is wrong in the government giving succor to the kin of families? What if in some cases if the breadwinner has died, what is wrong in granting a job, government job to his son, his or her son or daughter? Remember, the Madras High Court had stayed the scheme, saying that it's violative of Article 14, that is right to equality, and Article 16, equal opportunity in the matters of public employment.
And staying with Tamil Nadu, former Industries Minister T.R.B. Raja has heavily criticized the recently concluded investment conclave organized by the TVK government. In fact, the DMK leader, who held the industries portfolio from Tamil Nadu between 2023 and 2025, recorded a social media video where he questioned the Tamil Nadu government's exclusion of the press at the conclave yesterday. Raja is right. Now, for the first time ever, business journalists, much like yours truly, did not receive invites to attend an investment conclave organized by the government, with Chief Minister Vijay and Industries Minister Keerthana Sampath choosing to only allow a few cameras at the venue. Also, for the first time, a business investment summit did not have the Chief Minister deliver a speech. Raja, however, also claimed that a number of schemes were a rehash of those introduced by the previous DMK government, as it claimed to bring up a milestone of 1 lakh crore rupees in investments. Listen in to what the former Industries Minister of Tamil Nadu had to say.
என்ன கதை, ஏன் இவ்வளோ சீக்ரசி, ஏன் இது வர திட்டங்கள் எல்லாமே சென்ற திராவிட மாடல் ஆட்சியில் நாங்கள் ரெடி பண்ணது தான்ன்றது ப்ரெஸ்ஸுக்கு நல்லா தெரிஞ்சிடும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக நீங்கள் சிந்திச்சிங்களான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. ஆனால் ப்ரெஸ்ஸை விடாமல் இருக்காதீங்க. ப்ரெஸ் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். குறிப்பாக பிஸ்னஸ் ப்ரெஸ் இஸ் வெரி 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 க்ரூஷியல் ஃபார் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் ப்ரொமோஷன். நம்பர் 2, இதில் வந்த எம்ஓஎஸ் எல்லாமே கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 75% வந்து நாங்கள் திராவிட மாடல் ஆட்சியில் ரெடி பண்ணி வச்சுருந்த அந்த திட்டங்கள் தான் அப்படின்னு எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியுது. அது உங்களுக்கும் தெரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அதை ப்ரெஸ்ஸு கண்டுபிடிக்கூடாதுன்னு நினச்சிங்களா தெரியல.
Meanwhile, Andhra Pradesh is stepping up its investment push, with the State Investment Promotion Board clearing 25 projects worth 2 lakh crore rupees. The projects are expected to generate 21,627 direct jobs, with investments spanning industries, energy, IT, electronics and food processing. The state is also targeting newer sectors like green ammonia, lithium batteries, robotics and data centers, signaling a sharper focus on high-tech and emerging industries. With that, we'll slip into a short break, but South Central will be back on the other side, so keep staying tuned to ET Now. Welcome back. You're watching to South Central on ET Now with me, Jude Sanath. Moving on to some manufacturing action next. Chennai-headquartered performance and athleisure footwear brand State of Joy is scaling up rapidly. After selling over 2.14 lakh pairs of shoes and clocking nearly 41 crore rupees in revenue in FY26, the company is now targeting a 120 crore rupees in revenue and sales of 6.28 lakh pairs in FY27. So what's driving this aggressive growth ambition, and what is SOJ's expansion pipeline looking like? I caught up with founder Pullela Gopalakrishna Bachi at the company's manufacturing base in Ambur to find out more. Here's a slice of that conversation.
So we went, unlike most other brands, we went through the wholesale and the distribution method. So we have a presence across India through distributors who are all over the country. And we are present in many stores, multi-brand stores, mom and pop stores, and on the high streets. So that gives us a big volume. And until now, from the day we've started, we've crossed 500,000 pairs of sales as of today.
And that's a stunning number, no doubt. So let's take a look at a few more targets that you have for yourself. I think 6.28 lakh pairs is what you're targeting for FY27. Now, Mr. Bachi, that's a threefold jump from where you at, including a 120 crore rupees that you've set aside in brand value. What are the levers that you are banking on right now to make these numbers happen?
See, unlike like a business that is like online driven or D2C business, the route that we have taken to grow is very difficult in the beginning years. You have to get positioned with all the distributors, get placed in all the stores. But once that happens and people have bought your product and they've used it and got comfortable with it, then the growth starts happening. So we think we have actually done all the hard work until now, and I think this is the year that we will really push up our sales. And like you said, we will cross 500,000 pairs. About 600,000 pairs is like what we have in plan. And to do 120 crores in total brand value sales is what we have in target for this year.
Right. But you know, a closer look at the numbers, Mr. Bachi, actually makes for very interesting reading, because your average price per pair stood at around 1,500 rupees, but you're expecting that to go up to 1,910 or so. So what's the game plan going forward? Are you banking on premiumization? Are you banking on, making a better shoe, a more preferred shoe, a more premium shoe in many ways? Is that going to be the business strategy going forward?
So the product mix actually brings about the price point on an average. So since we are moving into the north, we have launched waterproof shoes, which are at quite a high price. It's about 4,000 to 6,000 rupees a pair. We have launched about shoes which are more for trail running, which are about 3,500 to 4,000. Our category Anatom has become very strong. That's about 4,000 rupees a pair. So because of that, the average selling price of a total number of pairs becomes slightly higher. That's really what it is about. In short, to answer your question, yes, it's the premiumization of the product that is driving up the price.
Right. So as you move forward then, what will be a bigger priority for you? Are you looking to, expand volume, sell more pairs, in a sense, even as you continue expanding across the country? Or are you looking to build more premium pairs and take your top line up by focusing on more premiumization and by focusing on sales of a few good premium product launches? What is that strategy? Is it an either or in the first place?
Well, our main goal is to sell more pairs. So we will increase the number of pairs that we sell, because as we spread and the number of stores we are available across, automatically the sales is going to go up. And we want to remain in that price segment of affordable premium product. So we want to be in that price segment of between 2,000 to 4,000 rupees. That's where we are established. And I don't think we want to push up. Obviously, there will be some products which are at a higher price, but that's our strength and that's where we want to be. So the growth is driven by actually a lot more pairs that we will be selling over this year.
Right. You talk about expansion itself and, expansion in north markets also. What is that pipeline like? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but at present you have around 800 stores, again, multi-brand outlets in many ways. Are there plans of launching more exclusive stores as you also work on the brand State of Joy, as you work on Anatom? you're also expanding geographies, you mentioned.
Yeah.
What is the pipeline in terms of on-ground presence, in terms of number of stores and perhaps exclusive stores going forward?
Yeah. So we have a full-on plan for this year. We are taking on a lot. We are expanding our retail presence on ground, on brick and mortar, because we have taken on a couple of new distributors in locations that we are not present in. So that's going to give us growth. We are also very strongly concentrating on digital this year, which we haven't done at all. So, we are expecting growth to happen over there. We want to also do a couple of our own exclusive brand outlets in areas that we are already present in and doing well. So we thought we'll have our pilot stores over there to check out what is and how we will do as an exclusive brand outlet. Large format stores, that's a segment that's also something that we are looking at. So 4 channels all being pushed this year is going to give us the results that we are hoping to get.
And which cities are you looking to expand in going forward? What are the geographies that are on your radar?
So we are really doing well in Tamil Nadu. We are doing well in Andhra. We are doing well in Punjab, in Gujarat. Srinagar, for example, Jammu and Srinagar is doing well for us. So these are states that are doing very well for us. We need to get better in Karnataka. We need to get better in Delhi. Some of those areas that are very big markets, but we haven't been able to get a good foothold. Those are the areas that we're going to look at going forward this year.
Right. But would it be safe to say that that exclusive store, when it does come about, will start in your home city of Chennai before moving to other cities? Or would you look at a top-down approach where you start somewhere in a more established market for these products like Delhi and then come to Chennai slowly? What is that approach going to be like?
I think people do it multiple ways. I would feel more comfortable to be present in a location where people already know us. So that's kind of easier for getting walk-ins and things like that. To go into a location where people still don't know us is not going to be feasible. Brand has to be known for an exclusive brand outlet to at least make ends meet. So that's the strategy we are hoping to. We'll probably look at South as the first couple of stores.
Well, lots to look forward to then on the athleisure and performance footwear front. Now, before we end, if you thought wedding season meant just packed banquet halls, Kerala is taking it to another level. The Guruvayur temple, known to be the state's most sought-after wedding shrine, is bracing for a massive wedding rush with 377 ceremonies already booked for just the 23rd of August. In fact, the temple is expecting a huge crowd, but there's a catch. Only 24 people, including photographers, will be allowed near the wedding mandapam along with the bride and groom. So if you're getting married at Guruvayur on the 23rd of August, you may have to leave the extended family and most of the wedding entourage just outside the mandapam. And with that, we've reached the end of today's bulletin. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon with more news and updates from South India. But in the meanwhile, keep watching ET Now for more news and market action. From all of us here, it's goodbye for the moment.